Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Femme, Domme, Mystique. This is my first full-length topic in 2018, and I'm glad you've decided to join me. I am your hostess for this podcast. My name is Mistress Simone, and I am a professional lifestyle dominatrix with 25 years experience. Please feel free to do a Google search for me and look me up, and you should be able to learn all about me. So, I am dedicating this year to getting back to a regular schedule with my podcast. I've had lots of listeners who have wanted to have me be more regular, and last year my life just did not lend to that. But I'm hoping this year you will at least get one full topic, one interview, and one rant every month. Hopefully that will satisfy your curiosity of what is going on in this femdom's head. So for those of you that are just joining us, let me tell you a little bit about the Femme, Domme, Mystique. It is a podcast that's probably been around for about, 5 years so far. And it started as part of a network. And I went independent with it about a year and a half ago. Learning curve there. I'm not a geek on the computer. Great with whips. Great with canes, not so good with computers. Still not. So it took a little bit of a learning curve for me to get used to how to do all the things for myself, and I'm still learning. So if you see something missing or a picture that's upside down, it's probably because I don't know what I'm doing. But I am very glad to have this venue to share my femdom views with the world and hopefully help educate and answer some questions on exactly what female dominance is and how we think. The topics are usually generated from a conversation with myself, my husband, my slaves, another femdoms. So they usually come up in conversation or emails or online. Social media is great for topics. In fact, I think you'll like the rant this month because it's about people stealing identities of someone else. So this podcast is little old me. It's not fancy. I don't have a lot of fancy equipment. I don't have a lot of fancy interfaces. It's just me talking to you guys, hopefully helping you learn a little bit about the femdom lifestyle. It will be focused on that. And if you have a problem with that, I'm sorry, then this podcast is probably not for you. My opinions may not always be politically correct. Sorry again, may not be for you. It is female dominant focused. Meaning mistresses, goddesses, ladies, daddies, sirs, however you identify yourself, whatever label you choose, as long as you are a female who's in charge. Even if it's housewives living the 1950s dream of being catered to by the husband, where the 1950s household usually has the wife being subservient, but there is a subgenre in our community where the 1950s household, the wife is in charge, the husband comes home, hands a paycheck, gets on all fours. So whatever your dynamic, however you like to identify yourself as a feminine-born or identified person who is in charge, then this is probably a podcast that should help you. So you'll have to bear with me. Again, I do not really edit this. It is a stream of conscious, so I kind of just go with the flow with the topic, kind of where it takes me. I do have structure for it. I know some bullet points that I want to make. I have ideas of what I want to talk about on each topic, and I have done my research on each topic. So today's topic, the first of 2018, is sadism. Sadism Defined. Now, for those of you who are listening, you may think that this is going to be a very interesting podcast with how do I identify what sadism means across the board. Because as we know, one concept of our lifestyle is that everyone has their own ideas of what a concept may mean, whether it be the word slavery, collar, femdom, sadism, masochism, top, bottom. While all of these have a general definition, to pin them down to something extremely specific is kind of against what our community does. We like a little bit more broad interpretation. What means sadism to me may not mean sadism to male dom that's sitting next to me, or the masochist that's sitting next to me. And this is where this podcast will hopefully encourage some people to think and discuss, because while this is my opinion, and yes, you are going to get my opinion, I am the mistress after all, it's going to be opening for discussion. My way is not 100% the right way. And if anybody ever tells you that in this community, then I would suggest you start walking away very quickly, because their way is not always the right way.